pay any attention to what any other trainer in this space does. I don't follow them on social media. I really don't care what they do, because I really think if, we're on the topic of authenticity, it's really important that you're not overly influenced by other people around you that do similar things. So, I just really appreciate that, because when people say you're different, it's by design. So thank you for that. And,
awesome.
Thank you for the support. And I'll tell you, the membership program that I have, it's called the Legacy Leadership Academy. For any of you that aren't aware, we probably need to do like an official survey on this, but I would probably venture to guess that Plexus is probably now the #1 represented company in the membership for sure. So we have a ton of Plexus leaders. But anyway, the training that I'm going to be going over tonight is really something directly from our membership. We wanted to give all of you kind of a sneak peek into some of the things that we talk about. And there's a reason why we're doing this tonight. It's no secret, you may have heard, we are open for enrollment again. We only open up 4 times a year. So if you get any value out of the training tonight, and I've got a special announcement of something we're doing that I think you'll find really exciting, you'll have an opportunity to join us if you decide. If not, no big deal. My goal still is, even if I do something like this, and I mentioned the membership at the end, it's really important to me that even if you don't want to join, that at the end of this, you still feel like it was worth your time to be here. So that'll be my goal. And we're going to be talking tonight about something called the success equation. This is something that I came up with based on my decade, 15-year almost experience now in and around the network marketing profession. The first 10 years as a representative, the last almost 3 years building a training company, serving the industry. And the question that I always wanted to try to answer was this, because I think a lot of us probably, we ask ourselves this: do some people have an advantage over others when it comes to a business like this? Because I can remember my first year in network marketing. It used to drive me crazy when I was in my business. I'm 6 months in, working hard, trying to grind it out. And then all of a sudden, someone signs up out of nowhere and all of a sudden blows right by me and has all this success. And you see this happen over and over again. And it really makes you start to wonder, like, what are they doing differently than me? Do they have a secret? Is there an advantage? And it really, really used to frustrate me. But I'll tell you, from my experience of having worked with thousands and thousands of successful people, I have kind of put my finger on it. They do have an advantage, and there is a secret. And we're going to share that with you tonight. The success equation is there are actually things that you can begin to focus on to help you create better business results. And I'm going to share with you what they are today. There's actually 3 parts to the success equation, and I'm going to go through each of these in detail. Number 1 is your own personal growth. Number 2 is the quality of your relationships. And number 3 is the intensity of your effort. So let's break each of these down. Let's talk first about personal growth. So here's what I've learned, and this is what I want you to understand. Network marketing, your Plexus business, what it really is it is a personal development program disguised as a business opportunity. And a lot of you are kind of finding this out now. Our first year in a business like this, it really is all about us growing and evolving as a person. A lot of times in that first year, we don't see tremendous business success, but we're really forced to become better and grow. And what you find is, to the degree that you're willing to face that challenge and become better, usually your business eventually grows in step with that growth. So as you grow, your business grows. But here's the key with growth. Growth only comes through facing your fears and taking action. You're not going to grow as a person by reading books alone. You're not going to grow as a person by watching trainings. You're not going to get any better watching this tonight. What's going to make you better is if you learn something tonight that you think can help. When you actually put it into action and you do it, it is in the process of the doing that we start to become better. And I think a lot of us, we need to be honest with ourselves. We're not taking enough action. We're not facing our fears. And that's one of the things that's holding us back and stunting our growth. And I'll tell you, the number one culprit of this is social media. A lot of people in this profession hide behind social media, and they think that posting all day and doing videos alone is going to help them build a successful business, and it is not. That's only a very small piece of building a successful business. You got to get from behind your computer screen, and you got to start doing the hard work if you really want to grow. Here's what it really boils down to, though. So many people struggle with, how hard or difficult it is to build a network marketing business. Well, guess what? Newsflash. Welcome to the real world. This is how all businesses are. Building a business is not easy. And the longer you try to resist it, the longer you try to change the process, all you're doing is delaying your eventual success. So what I tell people, stop trying to change the process and let the process begin to change you. It's hard for a reason. See, I like to say it like this. Plexus is just hard enough to weed out all of the people that don't really want it bad enough and don't have a big enough dream for their lives. It's supposed to be difficult. Look, if it were easy and if anyone could do it, this is what drives me crazy when people are like, oh my God, the products are so good, they sell themselves, right? That's not true. Because you want to know what? If the products sold themselves, then the owner of your company wouldn't need to pay so much money in commissions to the leaders that are out there making it happen. Look, it's designed to be difficult because what we understand about opportunity is there's always two sides to a coin. On one side of the opportunity coin is everything you want, and on the other side is everything you don't want to do to get to what you want. And those two things are always in proportion. So you must just accept that it is supposed to be the way it is for a reason. And we realize this. We don't pursue success. We attract success to us by the person we become. Now, having said all that, and that sounds nice, I'm going to read some of your minds because I can already tell what some of you are thinking because I've been here before. Some of you are thinking this, Bob, we get it. We've heard the personal growth. We've been working on ourselves. We've been taking action. We've been going to the trainings. We've been doing everything we're told, and it's been a year, and we still haven't seen the results yet. I know. I've been there. Trust me. I get it. But I want to open your eyes to something really important. Here's what you need to understand about personal growth. It is a leading indicator of business results. And what that means is as you grow, your business results are not going to grow in step at the same time in the same proportion. When you grow, what that means is that at some point, your business will follow. But there is a delay between your growth and the results. And I'll tell you, here's where people really drop the ball. And this is where they lose the momentum of creating their own growth. They focus on the wrong things. All they focus on is what they don't have, the lack of results. And they do not express gratitude for the greatest gift that this profession will ever give you, which is your own personal growth. And I'll tell you, it's easy for people to say this that already have achieved high levels of success and make good money. It's easy for people that are already there to say the money's not really what's important. It's the person you become. And I know when people used to say that to me when I was broke and starting out, I'm like, yeah, I wish I could have that problem. But I'm telling you, it really is. The person you become is the greatest gift you'll ever get in this profession. And I'm going to tell you your other problem. Your unwillingness to be grateful for that growth is the thing that is actually keeping you stuck. Because if you're focused on what you don't have, then you're just going to attract more of that into your life. And some of you are sitting here and you're totally lacking in motivation. You just can't get motivated to build your business. Well, let me give you the secret to motivation. It's called gratitude. Gratitude is the gateway drug to motivation. It is literally impossible for you to express gratitude and not feel more motivated. So the number one thing some of you have to do become grateful for the person you're becoming. Like some of you literally do not even resemble the person you were when you signed into Plexus. So start recognizing and feeling good about that. And I'm telling you, if you keep on that part of the equation, and then you do the other two things I'm about to teach you, your success is inevitable. This works no matter who you are. So let's talk about the second part. The second part of the equation is the quality of your relationships. And here's what I want you to understand. Network marketing, this is my other kind of big aha moment about this profession. Your network will ultimately determine your net worth. And what that means is that the quality of your relationships will have a profound impact on your business results. See, here's the analogy I want you to think of. Every single person in your life that you know and that you're connected with, even the people that are on your team already, you have something called a relational account with them. And here's the way that this works. Every time that you go out of your way to give to someone else, you live a life in service of others, you show genuine care and concern, you're there for people, you're giving, you're just that kind of a person in their life. Every time you do something, demonstrate that to someone else, I want you to imagine depositing into that account. And over the course of time, over our life, we start depositing and we build up these relational accounts. See, this is the reason why I'm such a huge proponent of live video and sharing content on social media that's not just geared towards selling your stuff, but enhancing the lives of other people. Every time you do a video or make a post on Facebook that helps someone become better, you just deposit it into their account, whether you even know who they are or not. You might not even have met them yet. But over time, we either grow or we neglect these accounts. And then this is what happens. We join our network marketing business and we start to approach the people we know. And we ask them, hey, would you support my business and try my products? Would you join me in my business? And every time we do that, what we're really doing is we're looking to make a withdrawal from those accounts. Now, look, here, I'm not a math genius, but here's what I know. If I go to the bank tomorrow and I have no money in my account and I write a check and give it to the teller, I do not have grounds to get mad at the teller because she didn't give me or he didn't give me any money. It's not their fault. It's my fault. I didn't put anything in the account. And here's what a lot of you don't understand. You've not lived your life in a way that has made deposits and built up the equity, and you're going to cash out and nothing's there, and you're blaming it on your family and friends, and you're not taking responsibility for your role in this process. And I know that this is difficult for some people to hear, but here's what I will just tell you straight up. When you start your business, if you can imagine it like this, if we think about these first two areas, right? Your personal growth and the quality of your relationships. Let's get to the heart of this matter. Do some people really have an advantage? Well, here's how this works. Let's say you start your business, you're at point A. And let's say that point B is where you want to go. Point B is diamond. That's where we want to be, right? Well, here's what happens. Some people start their business, their point A is much closer to point B than others. Because you want to know why? They've already done a lot of the hard work in the first two areas of the success equation. They've lived their life as a giver, not a taker. They've gone out of their way. It's just who they are as a person, whether they realized that they were going to benefit from that or not. They've already faced their fear and done a lot of the work in their heart and their personal growth. So they do have an advantage because they've done in that area. So here's another way to say this. And I think this is hard to hear for some of us, but acknowledging the reality of where we are is the first step to making things better. Here's the reality for a lot of people. When you first join Plexus, you are either going to reap the rewards or pay the price of the life that you have lived prior to joining. And a lot of us just do not like the reality of where that is. Now, I'm not trying to share this with you to depress you and to let you know why your family and friends don't listen to you. I'm not trying to discourage you. I am trying to open your eyes to the reason why we struggle sometimes. And I want to get you excited to know that no matter how bad you've been in those first two areas, you can start becoming better today. And any one of you can start leveraging the first two parts of this equation in your favor. But let's talk about the third and the final part. See, we may have people from time to time that join our team that have great potential, right? They've got the relationships, they've got the personal growth, they've got everything on paper you would want. But here's what I know about this business. Potential alone has never cashed any checks. You have to have the third part of the equation, which is intensity of effort. And here's the reality. You want to become a diamond? I'll tell you how you're going to do it. You're going to have to work your you-know-what off. You are going to have to work harder probably than you've ever worked in your life to get there. Look, it's no secret. It's not easy to build a business in this profession and achieve high levels of success. It's not easy, but it is simple. And it 1000% is worth it when you get there. But make no mistake about it. You're going to have to work hard. But you know what? Don't we kind of realize that anywhere? Anything worthwhile is not easy. And this business is no different than any other business. But for some reason, we don't remember that. We come in, we put in minimum effort, and we expect maximum results. And I'm just telling you, some of you are not working hard enough, or you're not working it with the right intensity. Look, I got news for you. Slow and steady does not win the race in Plexus. It just doesn't. You got to show up with urgency, and success loves speed. You need to work your business with velocity. But here's another thing you need to understand. You must understand the difference between consumption and production. And we live in a world today where this is as big of a problem as it's ever been because of social media, because of the access to information, because of everything that's thrown at us. It is so easy for us to spend too much time consuming and not enough time producing. Here's where it even is a bigger problem. Look, let's all acknowledge that we only have a certain amount of time each week to build our business. Every one of you has families and a life and jobs and careers. See, there's only a finite amount of time. Here's the big mistake I see so many people making. They take the time that they have during their most productive business hours, the middle of the day, and they spend that time reading books and listening to podcasts and watching Facebook Lives, thinking, I'm working my business, right? Well, I got news for you. That's not working your business. Social media is not working your business, okay? Some of you need to understand that. Working your business is doing things like prospecting and reaching out, connecting, messaging, presenting, following up, training, enrolling. If you're not spending 70 to 80% of your time at least doing those things during your most productive hours, that's why you're struggling. Look, I've been talking a lot about this thing where the question that I'm asking people is attraction marketing killing your business? Because these are like the buzzwords today in our profession. Attraction marketing. You got to do attraction marketing. You got to Facebook Lives and posting. And look, I'm a huge proponent of marketing, and social media is marketing. But I want you to understand marketing's not working your business. And people have gotten this all screwed up, and they're spending 70 to 80% of their time posting on Facebook, coming up with ideas for posts, creating these amazing looking images in Canva, which I get it. They look good. But all I'm trying to get you to understand is the 4 hours you spent in your design program this week, if that was at the expense of you doing this other stuff, then don't be confused as to why your business is not where you want it to be. So we must get clear on what we should do, how we should do it, and we must show up and we must put in the hard work. And look, if you now understand the formula, these are the three things. I don't care where you are. I don't care how good or bad you've been. If you start focusing in these three areas. So let me give you a couple of like takeaways. In terms of personal growth, you must make sure that you have a plan and that you're intentional, because growth does not happen by accident. You're not going to grow just by being around. You've got to make sure you have a plan for growth. So what skills do you need to build up? You know, are there certain things you know you need to get better at? Overcoming fear. But you have to be careful to not do your personal growth during the only time that you actually have to work your business. When we talk about relationships, this is pretty simple. Just start being a giver. Look, I know it might not be you by nature, but you better understand you are in a business now where you must be a giver. You must learn how to invest into your network. And I'm going to ask you a question that might be scary for you to answer right now. When's the last time that you called someone you know, and it was not to try to prospect them about Plexus? Like you literally just called them because you wanted to see how they were. That's a really scary question for us to ask ourselves, because if we're honest with ourselves, we might not even be able to remember when that was. Or here's an even scarier question, because remember, you have relational accounts with your team as well. When's the last time you called someone on your team and it wasn't about Plexus? Ooh, that's a really tough question to ask. See, when we start changing the way that we approach the people we know, the results around us begin to change. And look, a lot of times it's not for bad intentions that we don't do this, because look, it's just life is crazy, business is crazy, but we need to start putting a priority on doing these kinds of things. And when we do, it starts to show up in a really big way in our business. So those are the three areas of the success equation. Now, if you permit me to, I'd like to just talk a little bit about something we have happening that I'm really excited about. I think you all will be as well. And then I also want to make sure we leave plenty of time. If we have some questions, we'll answer questions as well. But Nikki mentioned in the beginning about my membership program. It's called the Legacy Leadership Academy. We have tons and tons of Plexus people in there I've already talked about. But we only open up enrollment 4 times a year. And we are now currently in an open enrollment period, but we've got something really exciting happening that I want to share with you. So the way that we approach training, we have a much different mentality. We focus on picking really important topics and spending the entire month on that one topic, teaching it to you. Every month we pick a new topic. We create an implementation guide that you can print up and use for your team. We do an accountability challenge. I mean, we really dive deep, because I know that the key to you getting better is not just learning, it's mastering certain things. And this month we are teaching content creation on social media. And here's what I know for a fact. Of everything that keeps us held back, of everything that causes us overwhelm, social media is the #1 culprit. I mean, it is so overwhelming thinking about what should I post, when should I post it, where should I post it? Should it be in my Facebook group? Should it be in my profile? Now somebody's telling me to do Instagram. Do I do the same stuff? I mean, it's maddening, right? And, you know, I think that this is a really big obstacle for people, because when I talk about carving out more time to build your business and do less of this stuff, it sounds good, but it's hard because it's not a reality for a lot of people. And I'll tell you why it's not a reality. I'm going to open your eyes to 2 things that if you're not doing on social media, you will always be overwhelmed and it will be an uphill battle. Number 1, you must have a system. The #1 reason why people struggle on social media is it's completely random in their approach. They wake up and they say, what should I post today? And I'm telling you, if that's your approach to social media, you are never not going to be overwhelmed by it. You must have a system where you go into the week already knowing exactly what you're going to do. But in order for you to do that, here's the second. And if a secret exists to creating content on social media, here's what it is. It's called repurposing. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they create a great piece of content, whether it's a video or a written post, and they only use that thing one place, one time. It is the biggest mistake you're making. You must take your great content and you must use that multiple times in different places and in different forms. And if you study anybody you know that is famous on social media, they are masters at repurposing content. So you might be thinking, sounds great, Bob. Where do I get a system for repurposing content? Well, surprise, surprise, I've got a system for repurposing content. This is what we're doing. This month in our membership, we are doing a challenge that starts on Monday, August 13th. And I am going to be teaching you my system. It is a 6-step system that's going to completely eliminate any issues you have with content on social media. This is what I'm going to teach you to do. And I know when you first hear this, you're going to think, there's no way that that's possible. I'm telling you, I do it, and I can teach it to any of you. I'm going to teach you how to take one video, a 3 to 5 minute video, and turn that one video into an entire week's worth of content for all of your social media. I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine a world where you can wake up on a Monday morning and literally know that every single piece of content for your social media that week is already done and in place. Imagine the hours of your life that you are going to get back not having to stress out about this. This is what we're doing. Now, you do have to be a member in order to participate in the challenge. So here's the information, and I'm sure Nikki and Heather will pass this along to you. If you go to legacyleadershipacademy.com, you can sign up for the membership. You can see all the details. We have 2 different options to enroll. We have a monthly program where you pay month to month. You can cancel at any time. It is $57 per month. We do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you think about it, there's literally no risk whatsoever. You could, if you want, join the membership today, get my system that I'm talking about, go through the challenge with us, and then at the end, just get a refund, and it didn't cost you $1. Now, people say, Bob, why would you say that? You're going to encourage people to do that? Well, here's why I say that. Because if I can make it clear to you that there's literally no reason why you wouldn't do this, and that's the only reason why you join, I'm so confident that the vast majority of you that do join, once you're in there and see what this is all about, just like, Nikki was a really tough cookie to sell, but once you get in there and you see the heart and soul of what we do. See, I know your company very well. I've spoken to your owners extensively. We've had conversations about doing stuff together. You know, I know that your national was called Legacy, right? Our values and beliefs are so aligned together. You're going to get in there and you're going to see the training that we provide, and you are going to be like, are you kidding me? Like, it's that good. So that's why I say that. Now, we do have an annual where you can prepay for the whole year. It's $497. That saves you 30% over what you would pay monthly. And we give you 60 days if you sign up for annual to get a money-back guarantee. We're just that confident in the training. And the last thing I'll say, and then we'll take some questions, is a big question that I do get is, Bob, am I right for your program, right? I don't have a team yet. I'm just starting out. Well, this is something we just rolled out in the last week that I'm so excited about. When you first sign up, the first thing we do is we have you take an assessment, and we have you answer a series of questions. And based off of your answers, we will prescribe to you a customized training plan based off of exactly where you are in your business. So you don't even have to think about what to do. We already have trainings hand selected for you no matter where you are in your business. So it is for you. And then the last thing I'll say, and this is the thing I'm most excited about, we are rolling out a mobile app this month. So you are going to have our entire membership platform in a mobile app on your phone. The press of one button, you have access to all of our training. So it's a really great program, but this content challenge is going to be huge. So you have until next Tuesday at midnight to sign up. That's when enrollment closes. So make sure you go check out legacyleadershipacademy.com. And look, I can't see the group, but if any of our legacy leaders are on, just leave a comment that you're a legacy leader. So if anybody in here is on the fence about joining, they can pick your brain on if you think it's worthwhile or not. So that's all I got to say. So I'll open it up and let's take some questions. Let me know what people need help with and we'll go from there.
Awesome. And I'm watching on the team board and over here on the chat. So just type it on.
You have the command center set
I
up.
do. I have 3 monitors.
I love it.
My husband's an IT guy. So
okay. Makes sense.
But yeah, so if y'all have questions, ask either in the chat or over here in the comments. Let us know.
Awesome. Looks like Teresa is a new legacy leader. Congratulations. I'll put the link in the chat for people.
Perfect. We have a couple legacy leaders over here on the team board too. Now y'all don't let Bob leave without asking him a question.
It always takes a couple of minutes, and it's on this. This is why I prefer doing Zooms, because we can just talk and kill time. About half of the ones I did today, I was just streaming live into the Facebook group, and there's always this awkward moment where I just have to stare at myself for like a minute or two and wait for somebody to ask a question. But inevitably they do comment something.
Okay, we have a question. Nikki says, I struggle with duplication. Can you help?
Yeah, so one of the focuses of our membership is helping people create momentum in their business. So let me break this down for you. Here's how it works. We all hear about momentum and we know it's something we should want. It's good, right? Well, here's the definition of momentum if you don't know what it is. Momentum is a lot of new people joining your team, following your system, and getting results. That's momentum. When you have a lot of new people joining, they're excited, they're getting results, that's what creates momentum. Now, but you've got to go a step backwards. The only way you get momentum is if you have duplication. And the only way you get duplication is through systems. You must have simple systems in place. And I'll tell you, the biggest problem that I see for people that have teams, when you look at the culture of their team, the culture of their team is people dependent, not system dependent. And what I have done is I have identified 5 key areas of your business that if you do not have systems in place, eventually duplication will break down for anyone. And those 5 key areas are prospecting, a standardized opportunity presentation, onboarding, leadership development, and recognition. So in our advanced learning path, one of the first things we teach you are the 5 systems needed for duplication. And not only that, we even go a step further. We have created all the systems for you. So it's almost like you literally get a business in a box that you can just decide what do you need the most, you take it, and you use it in your thing. But the key is systems. You must have simple systems. So we spend tons of time doing that inside of the membership.
Awesome. I had one more question that someone asked. What times do you suggest we post? Are there some times that you think are better than others?
Yeah, I think there definitely are times of the day where you'll probably, depending on your audience, you'll notice more people are online. But the way that I always answer that question, Nikki, is you have to do what's realistic for you. And I'll give you a good example. When I first started building kind of my brand, I used to do my videos at 8 a.m. every morning. That's just when I did them. Now, if I looked at the analytics of my page, what Facebook was telling me was that if I posted at 9 o'clock, if I did a video at 9 o'clock at night, I'd get the most views. But I didn't want to do a video at 9 o'clock at night because that doesn't fit my lifestyle, right? I wanted to do it earlier in the day. And I think that we spend too much time thinking about when, and that gets us away from actually doing it. So you have to do it what works for you. But I also would say if what you're doing isn't working, experiment by trying to change times and understand the way that the algorithm works. If you and I have a relationship as according to Facebook, meaning we've interacted with one another, you might post at 8 in the morning and I might not get on Facebook till 9 o'clock at night. There's a good chance your post will still be at the top of my newsfeed because of that relationship. Okay. The time of the post does matter, but there are other factors of the algorithm that weigh much more heavily. So don't stress out too much about when. What I would be more concerned with is how often should I post? And I'll tell you what works today: quality over quantity. And the guidelines that we give inside of our membership is 1 to 3 times per day. You want to at least post once per day because consistency is important, but you don't need to post more than 2 to 3 times per day. You just don't. So you want to really start understanding what is better. And the system that we've created, the content system, we're going to help you fulfill all of those guidelines with that one video. We're going to give you your 1 to 3 posts per day for Facebook. We're going to give you your posts for Instagram. We're going to even give you your Instagram story posts based off of that one video as well. Everything comes out of that starting point.
I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, you're muted out, Nikki. There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I just allowed Dawn to talk too. She also had a question. So.
Okay, awesome. She looks like she's muted as well.
Dawn, can you unmute yourself, or you want to ask in the chat? She might not. Okay. Looking at these other questions over here. So you said it closes on Tuesday, that's correct?
Tuesday night, midnight Pacific Standard Time, we close. Now, I'm just going to tell you now, so consider this a warning. For those of you that are in the membership, anytime we've ever done this before, we close the enrollment and then we open it back up. Like a couple of days, we're not opening it back up this time. So midnight on Tuesday, that's it. We're not going to open it back up again until the end of the year. So, if you're going to do it, just make sure you do it in the time frame.
Okay, one last question. What are your tips to motivating our teams other than relationship building?
So, I think that the easiest way to motivate is through fear of loss. So there's 2 different types of motivation. There's positive motivation, which is potential gain, like trying to motivate people, like, look at everything that you can get. Look at how close you are to that next rank, right? There's the potential for gain. And then there's a positive stress motivation, which is fear of loss. So I'm going to give you an example of how this works. Let's say that Heather is on my front line. She's on my first generation. And she's, no offense, Heather, but she's frustrating the heck out of me. She just isn't working the way that I know she should be. We have these conversations over and over. Nothing ever happens. But then, Nikki, you're on Heather's 3rd generation. And you are actually showing up and doing the work, right? So here's how you motivate through fear of loss. You start working in depth in your organization. I go right through Heather and I start working with Nikki because I've identified she's someone that is willing to do the work. She's coachable. And I start working with you like I'm your personal enrollee. Now, I'm going to include your sponsor, right? Because everything I do is an opportunity to teach. But I'm going to start working with you, and then I'm going to start having a different conversation with Heather. Instead of me calling Heather up and having the same rah-rah trying to get her motivated, I'm going to call Heather up and I'm going to say, hey, Heather, listen, as a friend, I just want to give you a heads up. I've started working with Nikki. You might not know her. She's on your 3rd generation. She is going to be a superstar. I don't know that I've been this excited about someone in a while. And here's the thing, like, not for nothing, as a friend, I do not want to see you miss out on what is about to happen. So look, at the end of the day, if you want to do it, great. If not, that's on you. Like, I'll happily cash the checks because they're going to roll up to me. but like, what do we need to do to get you in a position to make money on what's about to happen? So that's just like an example of motivating through fear of loss. If you create activity and somebody can clearly see that it doesn't take a genius to realize that these bonuses are rolling up above them because they're not positioned, that's motivating through fear of loss. So that's why I was always taught and actually in September, our next masterclass in the membership is advanced team building strategy. So we're going to be diving deep into this type of stuff. But I was always taught that you don't work with people, you work through people. Now, that doesn't mean you just toss people aside and throw them away. But what it means is that you recognize the easiest way to motivate people is doing the type of stuff that we're talking about. So that's one way. And here's the other way. Go replace them. Stop trying to motivate the unmotivated. Go replace them and watch how quickly some people start to shape up when they realize that you don't need them anymore. Because what sometimes we do is we create these codependent relationships where we become the guidance counselor and the psychologist for the people that are on our team, right? And we enable their behavior. Well, you know what? The minute that you're not around for that weekly session/call because you're so busy working with the 2 or 3 new people you recruited, they start to get a little worried. They're like, oh, wait, so does Nikki not need me anymore? And they see other new people having success, and that makes them feel like they're going to miss out. So I wish I had some like secret to tell you there was something you could say to them to make them get it. It's mostly the way that you begin to work with the other people on your team and their team that hopefully will wake them up. And some people, you just need to give them time. You know, it's always timing. Some people, they might be in a season of their life where they're just not ready to commit to their business. And we don't want to make them feel wrong for that. See, that's a really big thing, is you can't make people feel wrong for not wanting to commit to their business. We always want to create a culture where everyone feels welcome regardless of their level of commitment. Because if the timing does get better for them, you don't want them to not feel like they can come to you because you've closed the door because you made them feel bad because they didn't want to work their business.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Bob, for taking the time and pouring into our team tonight. I know I've seen a lot of people say that they're already registered. So
awesome.
I'm excited for you to bring some of my team in on this with me. And Heather.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for being a legacy leader and supporting us. I know, I think a lot of your people will find out that this is much more than just a training program. This is a philosophy of building a network marketing business that I truly believe. I have kind of this grandiose vision of the future, and I really believe that legacy leadership is going to do more to elevate this profession in the eyes of other people. Because I think we're at a crossroads as a profession. And I think that those of us that represent everything that's good and right need to stand up, come together, and let people know what network marketing is really about. So we're not embarrassed to tell our family and friends that we're a part of something like this. You should be proud of what you do and what you represent. And I want you to be proud to tell people you're a legacy leader. And I think people will start to realize that there is a better way once they see what we do.
Yes, I totally agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your support. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and hopefully everybody got a lot of value tonight.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
All right. Well, have a great night. See you, everybody.
Good night.